Please welcome Godfrey, and we look forward to a great session.
Thank you very much. So we are going to give our experience from Makerere University. We have different champions who are going to be joining. I know they're in already. MCF Irani champions. You have 15 MCF Irani champions whose photos are up here on the screen. I will not read each and MCF e-learning champions from Makerere. And in this presentation, we have outlined our presentation in that format. We shall start by talking about the profile of our profile of Makerere University. We shall talk about some history of ODL at MAC and the e-learning at MAC, then challenges and some plans. We are from the East African community. We are from Africa, but from East Africa. That is just there in Uganda. And we are at Kampala. Makerere is in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda. And the icon, this building you see, is synonymous with the Makerere University, and it already has a patent for using it. And I think I am allowed to use it. During COVID, there was some challenge and it got burnt, but they are rebuilding it and putting it back the way it was. So work is going on, but we are really proud of this building. And that's why you see at the back of me is still that same building. Makerere University started in 1922. And this year, we are marking 100 years. So the university has a with 10 colleges that are spread around the university. There are different in colleges that we have. We have different colleges, as you can see. Sorry for that again. Yeah. So basically, the college of different colleges that we have, and also the School of Law is also part of it has a college status. So these are the different colleges at Makerere University. ODL in Makerere starts from 1953, where we had the Center for Continuing Education, where we are doing correspondence teaching for skills development during that time. And this center evolved into what we call the Institute of Adult and Community Education, which had two departments. That's the Department of Extramural Studies, and then the Department of Distance Education. And the Department of Distance, that's the Bachelor of Commerce, started in 1991 when we were running a bachelor's course for the first time through distance program. But the others also came in, the Bachelor of Education, the Bachelor of Science, the Diploma in Youth and Development Work, and the Bachelor of Agriculture and Innovation that we have been running there, apart from the Diploma in Youth, which was upgraded to a degree. All these programs have been running using the first generation distance learning, and basically where it's a lot of paperwork. You develop materials, the learners come physically for a short period of time, and then they do self-studies while they are away, and then they come back afterwards. So there was not a lot of digital work that we had in our distance learning program. The mode of study, just as I've been explaining, like for example, commerce, we were having 2 weeks face-to-face. The learners come for 2 weeks for face-to-face session and 11 weeks for independent study. So during the first 2 weeks, we give them materials, we introduce them to the course and then physically, and then they go to their places where they are working, where they come from, and then they can be able to work independently on their own using the materials that have been given. And they also come again for another 2 weeks to do the exams. So for the Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Science, they were running 2 weeks of face-to-face and 12 weeks of independent study and 1 week of face-to-face, because this program of BED and Bachelor of Science basically relied mainly on the teachers, and they would use calendars. That's why the second face-to-face was not 2 weeks was just 1 week, and then they can be able to do exams. And the exams were digital exams that were being done. The e-learning at Mark is a big journey that started, we can say, 1991. During 1991, there was an inception of distance learning. And then we had in 2000 when we got a CEDA SARIC project phase 1, which was focusing on ICT use. And during that time, we were able to develop an ICT master plan between 2002 for 2002-2004. In 2003, we had started the Makerere, the library information system, which was operationalized so that people would be able to access the library material digitally. And in the same time, that's when we installed the Blackboard learning management system, and we started using it in 2003. And 2004, we also developed a ICT master plan too for 2005-2009. And in that master plan too, we had the first e-learning policy document where there was some documentation inside the master plan giving us how to do e-learning, something like that, but it was really very, very brief. And in 2006, the e-learning initiatives commenced, where there were several e-learning initiatives in terms of using social media for learning, using mobile phone, using different technologies, tried out here at Makerere, and we were able to see that also work. And we started using Kewel. Kewel, we went into it because there was some challenges while we're using Blackboard. We had already trained people, but because of the issues to do with licenses, the university thought that we would get out of there and then move into something else, and we went into Kewel. But we had a lot of challenges when we came into Kewel because some of our colleagues who had learned how to use Blackboard very well, they ended up having a lot of challenge in shifting to a new learning management system. And we lost a lot of courses in the process of that shift. And many people dropped off and lost interest in that. But Kewel was short-lived because we almost didn't go into it. And we started in 2009, we started a Moodle-based learning management system, which we called Makerere, Makerere University e-learning environment was launched in 2009, which uses Moodle, and this is the one we are using up to today. And in 2015, we had our policy for the Institute of Open Distance and E-Learning was approved, so that we were required to start now working as an institute. And in 2016, E-Learning Institute was incorporated, and we started now working with e-learning and going to Mwere and putting more energies in how to use the learning management system. Currently, on the platform of Mwere, we have users as per a few minutes when I was there. We have 59,259 and active courses that are running. That is course with some students, and we have 172,892 courses that are running. The institute, there are also coordinations. How is IODEL coordinated, or ODEL coordinated in Makerere? ODEL, the institute is under the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, and the director reports directly there to Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, who is extremely energetic in e-learning and is very passionate about it. But we also work hand in hand with the College of Education and External Studies, because the institute is running a Master's in Instruction Design and Technology, which has to go through the approvals of academic boards, and therefore it has to go through the College of Education and External Studies. But we, as the institute also, we collaborate with other academic units all the other colleges because we provide support for them. We have a deputy principal and academic staff, administrative staff, support staff, and the ODL technical team, technical staff that we have within there. We also we have college coordinators in IODL. So in IODL, every college has been assigned to a coordinator, and that coordinator is the one who helps in connecting the IODL with the college, so that we know that everything is proper. If there's organizing of trainings, setting up certain things that are not going right, we can always create, the coordinator is the one who is monitoring and ensuring that all colleges are covered. Within every college, everything is okay. And sometimes they tell us that this particular school, they need some assistance, and we can go to a school within a college to provide support or do some support within there. We also have what we call the e-learning coordinators. And our e-learning coordinators, we also refer to them as champions. But this word champion is not, these are not the champions of Mastercard Foundation. These ones are, we had champions actually, I think before we went to Mastercard. What we did was we created the e-learning coordinators or the e-learning champions across the university in every school. So we requested that we needed someone within every school so that we know that this is the e-learning coordinator. But these e-learning coordinators were not just chosen. They were those people who were early adapters in using the learning management system. So we would check and see that within Mwere, they are studying they're using the courses there. They have built a course and they are really working with different technologies. And these are the ones we selected as the e-learning coordinators or champions. And they are 30 in number because we have 30 schools across Makerere University. We also have ICT technicians based in schools. And these ones, each school has one person, and they help in providing some technical support to the students and to the staff when it comes to e-learning. And all this is coordinated at the center of the Institute of Open Distance and e-learning, where we ensure that we have some communication channels like WhatsApp groups and email, these group systems, so that we can be able to coordinate and move together.
Thank you, Godfrey. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, colleagues. Yeah, I will play a very small role in trying to explain further what we are doing regarding capacity building for e-learning in Makerere University. One of the steps that we have taken is to have internal capacity building of the faculty, academic staff, and the administrative staff and technical staff in the Institute of Open Distance and e-learning. These have had training, and one of those ventures of capacity building is the Mastercard Foundation work stream A and work stream B, where we're having the coaching, where we had the master class, and we're having the graduate certificate program from ASU. That's one of the capacity building ventures that are taking place. Then we, as a unit, and the champions being trained now by Mastercard, are also training other faculty academic staff in online course development and adopting largely the knowledge that we have got from the United States International University in Kenya and the Arizona State University under the Mastercard Foundation program. We try to guide our colleagues in instructional design for online learning. And then we also facilitate programs on online facilitation. So apart from instructional design, we also talk to colleagues on how to teach online. So we also do that both within the Institute of Open Distance and e-learning and outside. We have also worked with colleagues and are still working with colleagues regarding alternative assessment modalities. Because with the advent or the coming of COVID-19, previously we used to have sitting exams throughout. But with the COVID-19, the blending of courses online, the university had to open up to alternative assessment modalities, which Godfrey will talk about shortly. We have also sensitized students, and we continue to sensitize students about e-learning, because one of the factors that had previously led to e-learning not taking food in Makerere University was because of resistance from learners, because probably they were used to the traditional method. And so we carry out sensitization programs to students regarding e-learning. And in our training, there are quite a number of steps that we do in your training. So I'm going to share with you what we share with colleagues when we are training them regarding instructional design for online learning and teaching. So this is a Word document that has what we do when we meet colleagues and we're trying to guide them in designing material for online delivery. We take them through a course, and this is what we had been doing this for quite some time, but we have improved. So what I'm showing now is improved quite heavily because of our capacity building from USIU and ASU. The first item that we talk about with colleagues is determining characteristics of learners. And we adopted this table of learner analysis from the graduate certificate in instructional design by Arizona State University, the certificate that we are doing. So we adopted this. Previously in our trainings, we never used to emphasize analysis of learners. We talk about it in passing more or less, but after exposure, we started talking about it as a very fundamental part of our training process. And so we adopted this as the first step. So in our training programs now, the first step, we analyze our learners using this template. We adopted it the way it is. And so we share it with the colleagues and they populate it. Then after that, we go into stating intended learning outcomes of the modules that the colleagues are preparing. Now, we strengthened this step, especially from the coaching classes from the United States International University, because we are given a form to populate there. So we strengthened this, and then the talks that were being given. And also, when it came to the graduate certificate, one of the first modules that we did was basically about intended learning outcomes. So after stating learning outcomes, we then guide colleagues, because learning outcomes are stated using Bloom's taxonomy, and so we share this document with them of Bloom's taxonomy verbs. So the third task that we share with colleagues is to align learning outcomes to topics. So we advise our colleagues that whatever you teach must be aligned to the intended learning outcomes that you stated in task number 2. So we prepare this simple table where we share learning outcomes and then the topics that the colleagues are developing out of those learning outcomes. Then develop now what we call a course outline. So the course outline, then we get those topics and populate, and depends on the university. So we will try to now adapt the university's format. If it's Makerere University, we adapt Makerere University format. If it's Lira University, we adapt the Lira University format of the course outline. But when it comes to topics to be covered, the topics to be covered are those that map well with the intended learning outcomes, as in task number 3. Then task number 5, we do the constructive alignment. And there's a table here, which we partly adopted from the USIU table, where we have the learning outcomes, the topics you're covering, then the learning outcomes of each topic. This one, USIU helped us so much to build this bit of the course. And then the activities for each topic. Then we move on. After activities, we introduce concepts of assessment under number 6. Then we extend the assessment strategy. So the table is extended. So when you have the learning outcomes, the topics, then learning outcomes of each topic, then activities of each topic, then where the activities will take place. Because since it's blended sometimes, we need to guide the learners where will this activity take place, and then the assessment strategy. So we extend that table and move on to our task number 7 is identifying resources, because the next thing is also resources that learners will use. And so again, we extend the other table now to include a column for resources. So for a learning outcome, a topic, the learning outcomes of that topic, the activities of that topic, the activities will be done, assessment strategy, and what resources will you need. And we emphasize open educational resources. That's why here task 7 is identifying resources and open educational resources. So we try to identify those. Again, we thank you so much for, again, enlightening us on that. So number 8 would now fit our courses into that time. Some courses are run in 15 weeks, some 13 weeks, some 14. So a facilitator or faculty or lecturer must be able to fit the topics that you told us in the course outline in the time when they're supposed to be covered, so that, if possible, each topic is covered in a week on the learning management system. So this is where you allot or allocate a topic to a week. For example, our semester year is 15 weeks, so we allocate, beginning with the orientation week and probably a revision week. And in here, you can put your topics so that they fit within the period allocated. After that, we do a storyboard. Now we have to combine the weeks and then the detail of the activities that will be done each week. What outcomes, what topic, what assessment strategy, what resources, but this time combined with the week. So every week is planned in detail. After that, we now organize the deployment of resources. If you have identified resources, how do you deploy them to learners? So maybe read this and learn this, read this. So you tell them what to read. If you want to learn about certain types of Salesforce, read these items. So we go into that bit which we call preparatory research. Just every facilitator must emphasize what you want a learner to learn and where should they find it. Because when you go to the platform, a learner should be able to click on that link and access that resource. But the resource is deployed in a conversational format. Then 11, how do you deploy the activities, what we call activities or online activities? Again, there's a conversation. What should a learner should do? Maybe read, after reading a text, maybe what should you do? Maybe you go to a discussion forum and upload something, and then probably the date by when it should be done. And for us as of social constructivism, comment on other people. So you read what other people have written, and also, so we encourage all our facilitators to have tasks that emphasize what do you want a learner to do, where should they do it, how should they do it, by when should they do it, and then how can they interact with others. And that's our task number 11. And our task number 12 is now a detail of how the whole material will appear on the learning management system, where we shall now put what the learning outcomes of that topic, what then outcomes of the entire course that the topic is addressing, why am I doing that topic, that's the purpose, then what's the role of the learner that week, maybe to do tasks, maybe to discuss with others, what resources, preparatory research, what activities are going to be done and where. So what called activities, well numbered, okay? Then we guide them on how to select resources, how this topic links to other topics, anticipated time in terms of notional hours for that week's tasks. So try to guide the learner, and then we give a summary of the week's tasks and a quiz. Okay, so these are just examples of other what we call activity pages. So we plan with faculty this during the training, so that at the end of the day, this is what we copy and paste into the learning management system. And it takes quite some time. It could be about 5 to 7 weeks to do that. So every week we work with them. And then finally, last task is to prepare a study guide, a document that you put on the platform, but to guide learners on what this whole module or course is about, and maybe who's going to facilitate it, what does it contain, what are the activities, maybe their deadlines, okay, how is it aligned, maybe some deadlines of the different activities in the course, maybe a timetable. So this is the study guide, and we also give it to our learners. So I'm just flying through it here, but that is the final task. And we give a sample of a study guide to our faculty when they're being trained, so that they then practice as they work. So that is what we cover during the training. Maybe I can take off some 2 to 3 minutes and share with you just one of the courses on the Makerere University e-learning environment, or what my colleague Godfrey in short, called Makerere. All the courses begin with an introductory page, a welcome message with a photo of the facilitator or a short video. Yeah, then some links to vital resources like the course overview, the course content, the study guide. Then we have a small section where I put resources and tools or materials to read. This is one thing we also learned from the ASU course, that there must be somewhere where you put resources that your learners will read. And then we begin with the different units. And this is just familiarization. So the first week of the course is for learners to get familiarized with the course, the learning management system, the environment generally, and then the different units of the course are on the cover page. After that, and these are 15. Now, these ones should fit in the weeks that we had planned. And for this course, they are 15. Then we have course evaluation at the end. This one was emphasized in the coaching classes, it was emphasized in the master class, and also in the graduate certificate. It must be a course evaluation at the end. Now, this one's hidden because this course is running now, but this one will open when the semester ends, because this course is running right now. Then we have self-introduction forum, we have a group meeting cafe, then different discussion forums for different topics. And this is a good practice. We saw it in the ASU graduate certificate. Every topic has a space where learners discuss. Then we have a self-reflection quiz. So at the end of every topic, learners reflect or evaluate that topic, as well as having ungraded quiz, which has the kind of content for each course. Maybe one last thing that I can talk about before handing over to Godfrey is look at the structure of one of the topics. Maybe if I come to unit 2, what am I likely to find in unit 2? Unit 2 will begin with learning outcomes of that unit, and then the indicative content. So these are all units are prepared on the Makerere system. When a learner goes into a topic, they will see the intended learning outcomes for that topic, and then the indicative content. Then they can navigate to the next page. Now, Makerere is Moodle based, and people organize Moodle differently. This is how it's organized here, which outcomes address. So this unit 2 addresses module outcome 1 and 2, because we mapped. So every topic is mapped against a module outcome. Why are we learning this? That's the purpose. What is the role of the learner? But to you, that's what we do. Then resources. You're going to read this to learn. You're going to read, you're going to read some slides. If there are videos, talk about them. And then the activities, the tasks that we expect learners to engage, including the different due dates. Now, these are planned during the training. So you design them in the training. So when you come here, you paste them here, then learners can click on say, a link to a forum, and they can be able to go and discuss in the forum, and then they will return later. So when that topic is open, they will discuss. The semester has just begun here. And so it will run and run with different activities, like I showed. Then how does this topic link to other topics? Anticipated time, notional hours, probably 6 hours a week. Then a summary of deadlines in that week, summary of deadlines in the week. Then the quizzes I talked about, self-reflection questions, and then ungraded quiz. So learners can do these quizzes. And then there's a link here to go back to the home page of the course. So that wherever you are, you can as well return. So this is how far we have gone. We have adopted a lot of good practices from the coaching classes, from the master class that we had, and also from the graduate certificate. And we're still populating with more tools. The videos, we have a multimedia lab where we are going to record videos and enrich. So some other topics are enriched with some videos. This is introductory, not so heavy. So thank you so much. Let me hand over to Godfrey again to continue with our discussion.
Thank you, Richard, for that demonstration. We are now going to proceed with the, okay, now we are looking at some of the initiatives that we have, and basically access initiatives at the university. management has negotiated with telecom companies, yes, with telecom companies to zero rate the learning management system so that students can be able to access it without actually having data on their phone. So MTN and Airtel are doing that. We have also put access to affordable laptops. Our government has, management has signed an MOU with the Stanbic Bank to have students borrow. It's a 5-year agreement, and students and staff can also be able to buy their laptops on hire purchase over 5 years so that they can be able to have them immediately. And then also the laptop bank, management has put laptop banks in colleges so that staff can be able to just come and borrow, just like the way you would go in the library to borrow something. Yes, assessment, as Richard said, assessment was a little bit a new thing for us, but we approached it in this way. We did a lot of benchmarking with the other institutions. Specifically, I think we benchmarked with the University of Agder in Norway, and also benchmarked with some institution within the region. And I remember in one of our internal training, capacity building within the institute, we invited a colleague from USIU who took us through proctoring within the institute so that we understand how this exam process is going to be like. And that was very energizing, and we tried so that we can be able to organize ourselves. And then we set internal capacity building amongst ourselves so that we can be able to prepare ourselves for the training of the university and doing of digital assessment. So training of faculty, we did online assessment modalities and the different modalities, assignment tools and quizzes within Makerere, and the online grading processes that were done within Moodle. And we also trained students on online assessment modalities, assignment access and submission processes, and a quick quiz access and attempting quizzes, because these were going to be like the exams, the tools used for the exams. And we use different modalities, online assessment modalities, the take home, the multiple choice, portfolio, as you can see them here, listed in that list. But many of the staff mainly used take home and multiple choice. But this assessment modality were approved by Senate so that they can be used by us during that time of assessment. There are challenges. Of course, we have some challenges. Some of the challenges, ICT infrastructure challenges, where we have server capacities a little bit low, so that when we are dealing with the exams and many people are logged in, simultaneously becomes a little bit problematic, and we face those challenges during exams. And we are thinking that maybe now that the Mastercard Foundation is coming on board to buy for us more servers, we are going to be able to increase our capacity in that avenue. But also we have inadequate computer labs, which we need more labs, lack of multimedia labs, because now interest of recording of video is picking up at a very high pace, and we need to have so many multimedia recording studios within the university so that we can be able to manage, because we are having so many courses on the learning methods and many staff would like to record their courses. And there are connectivity problems that we have, but also some attitude by some staff and students on the e-learning issue, the low number of staff with skills for developing engaging online course, because some people want to develop a course, but maybe not putting in a lot of engaging activities, and it becomes problematic. Very few know how to do this, but we need to make many people be able to be skilled in that way. We are also lacking on proctored exams. We still need support in that area so that we can be able to run proctored exams. And then plans, what are our plans? Already we have the 15 champions at Makerere University who are undertaking training with MCF, work stream A, and we are really enjoying and learning a lot of things within this this stream. But also we have received funding from Mastercard Workstream B for content development, and we are expected by December 2023 to develop 2,500 courses, which we are going to embark on to make sure that these courses are developed. We also expect to acquire, using this funding, acquire servers to bridge the gap of the lack of servers here, and also set up multimedia labs, helping the recording of videos, and that will help a lot at Makerere University. But we shall also have continued sensitization of students, because we need, these are our customers, and we need to make sure that they are comfortable and they are well supported. So we shall have more continuous sensitization training for them, and improving existing courses using the new skills acquired. And for sure, for me, I have actually made already changes in my course. One of the courses I teach on the Masters in Instruction Design and Technology, I have really done a lot of things with it using the knowledge I have acquired through this graduate program. And we are very grateful. I think now we can go for Q&A. Asante kwa kutusikiliza. I think Arthur told me that. Asante kwa kutusikiliza. So Arthur, you'll give me a retake or not? Over to you, Onesmus.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Makerere University. You've done a great job. And as usual, there are a lot of things that just popped out at me. But I want to just basically go straight into the Q&A. And Eric here is saying Asante is my name. And well, that means thank you in Swahili. So we thank you for that. So okay. So I see a hand up. I want to invite some questions. Actually, the first question was by Juliana in the chat room. Juliana here was basically saying that she likes your template. Are you willing and able to share it?
Yes, no problem. We shall be able to share the template, yes. Why not? Because it's a community, yeah.
Right. So thank you so much for the much work you did to put that together. And what we realize is that even though you say you borrowed it from somewhere, there's a lot of custom work that has gone into it, and we really appreciate that and the fact that you're going to share it. So we will be helping Makerere University share it. We have our various platforms, and we will be doing that. So I have another hand up by Paul Muyinda.
Hello, good evening. My name is Paul Muyinda. I'm from Makerere University. Though right now I'm calling from Norway, University of Bergen, where I've gone for some activity. But I just wanted to thank my colleagues at Makerere University for having been able to share this wonderful experience, and also thank Mastercard Foundation, International University, and Mastercard Foundation for the support that they are giving us and the capacity that we are getting. Because I am not in a very good position to present, I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone who is online. I am listening in. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Paul. This is the beauty of a virtual environment. You can basically be anywhere and still be logged in and chime in. So we really want to thank you, and we wish you safe travels and success in what you're doing. Okay, now, do we have another question somewhere?
Someone is asking, first of all, Safari appreciates what Makerere University has done in the chat and wants to know the strategies or policies that we have in place for accessibility for learners with different types of disabilities.
Thank you so much, Richard and Godfrey, for the presentation. Now, about disabilities, Makerere University has a disability policy, but just recently they are trying to review some of these policies. But when it gets to online and blended, of course, the question would be, how were these students accessing courses when we went on online remote teaching and learning? The good news is Moodle is responsive, and we have a couple of projects that are trying to help such students access content online. Especially the blind, the visually impaired learners were in position to access content online. And again, thanks to Mastercard training, using the Andy tool, I take this to my team. I'm part of the team that is working on disabilities and trying to ensure that our online content and our online information is actually inclusive. So we have a couple of colleges taking up such initiatives depending on the nature of learners we have. So the university is working from our practices to revise the policy in relation to access of such learners. But these learners managed, and we also learned from them, because at one point we feared that they wouldn't manage to work with Mwele, and they were showing us how they were working with Mwele, and for them a mobile phone was very, very important, because it helped them to get software that would translate the content online. So there are things we are actually learning from the students to improve the policy, but also there was some laxity in terms of deadlines for such learners. Like the general policy says, if you have such learners in class, mainly the visually impaired, if you have them, you need to give them more time, 45 minutes or 50 minutes to submit the final submission. So likewise, online, these were also given more minutes to submit. But where we had students, right, the university was open for them to come and use the university environment, but also be supported. Now, one interesting thing was that while we were fearing to interact with these students, in classes and colleges where they were, the students were very fast in submitting the assignments compared to these other sighted learners. And again, that gave us momentum to continue and learning from them and what we need to do best. But of course, it still remains a challenge working with them. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Diana. That was very good for you. And what I like to do is there's actually a question out here. There's a question out here by Asante that says, who does the upload of the course content, the study guide onto the learning management system at your university? Is this the instructor or a dedicated team of staff and other people?
Currently, when we do the training, as Richard has said, with that template, we take step-by-step momentum of developing the course. And once the course is developed, the teachers themselves are able to upload the materials themselves, because through our guidance. So basically the upload is done by the facilitators themselves, because when we go through the training with all those tasks that we do progressively until when we end, because we have now a fully developed, we have a developed template or course, but then the upload purpose we guide them in the upload process, but they do it by themselves in the practical session.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. And actually, I need to correct this. This was Godfrey talking from Richard's computer, and they are both sharing the same computer, so the names appear different. But thank you so much for the combined answer about individuals that upload the course material to the learning management system. We still have another 5 minutes, and I'd like to invite any other questions that we might have.
Not really a question, but an observation. I think Makerere University really does a great job of showing us a direct impact of the MSF program on really the intended goal and sought outcomes on e-learning. The process they take us through on how they're integrating the templates and actually making it come live very well in their teaching is really excellent. And very commendable. I think they're doing a great job, and it's very inspiring for the future of e-learning as hoped for this program. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Henry.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Henry.
Go ahead, Godfrey.
I just said thank you, Henry, for the kind words.
Yes, so we really want to thank Makerere University. There's clearly, you people have been quiet in your corner, but there's a lot going on the ground. And this is what some of us believe, that there's a lot going on each university. And sometimes we need to just take a moment to open your window so others can see what's happening, because it's not only inspiring, but it also informs them on some of the things they can do, some of the resources that you have that we can share, and so on. Now, I have a last question. We have 3 minutes. I have one last question I'd like to ask. You talked about infrastructure development in Makerere University regarding e-learning. Now, and then there was the issue of, we have workstream A, and there is workstream B requests for proposals out there. Have you done workstream? Where are you in workstream B in the process of proposing and implementing? Maybe you can mention that to the rest of the group.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Nemsmas. Professor Muinda, can you respond to that?
Yes, I can respond to that directly. Yes,
Yeah,
we've been working on workstream B for almost the last 2 years, and right now we are now just waiting for the first disbursement of funds because all the contracts are signed between Makerere has signed, and the Mastercard Foundation has also signed. So we are just and as I talk now, probably because I'm not in Uganda, I think even the disbursement has already been made for us to commence. Our workstream B is supposed to have commenced on 1st June. So we are just a few days within the commencement of workstream B. And we've started with the different planning, onboarding meetings with the institute and with faculty and with all the other people who are going to be deeply involved in the implementation of this workstream B. So we have started. Over to you, Godfrey.
yeah, thank you, Professor Muinda. Yeah, over to you, Professor Nesmas.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations for the award of Workstream B. The purpose of Workstream B was to basically complement the activities that have been started in Workstream A. And we want to congratulate you on your leadership on this issue, and we want to encourage you to go press on forward. There's a lot to be done. Yes, there's a lot that has been accomplished, and it's very, very encouraging to see these things go on. So I really also want to take you up on your offer that in the e-learning community where we are, at least in the network schools that we have a free sharing agreement. We are happy to share information and resources as much as we can. So if there's something that you're thinking of, you now know one more person that you can call and say, I need this, what do you think about this, and all that. We are a free sharing society, and we really love it. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming and being on time. I thank Makerere University a lot for the great work they have done, plus their willingness to come and share. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a great time. Bye-bye.